It's easy to hear things about faith and vocation and presume they only apply to certain people. Pope Francis recently wrote a letter of encouragement called Rejoice and Be Glad. And he meant it for each one of us, saying that greatness of spirit is seen in everyday life. The Pope described the mission of each person as a path of holiness. I'll admit, I've avoided that word holy as a bit out of reach. But he said that even when someone else's life inspires us, our path of holiness is not about trying to imitate something not meant for us. He said that holiness is first about receiving and letting yourself be loved. It's about the encounter of each person's life, even weaknesses, with God's grace. By that encounter, we're equipped to live our path in and for the world. Each one of us, Francis said, being God's plan to bring an aspect of the gospel alive at a given time.
Each person's mission is a path of holiness, a path of receiving and living God's grace. My vocation is as a single person, and I'm really aware of God's grace in my life when I make priority for quality companionship with my closest family and friends. That sense of belonging energizes me to go out and live my faith, especially by trying to be a person of joy in my workplace and community service. Every encouragement for your path.
Each person's mission is a path of holiness, a path of receiving and living God's grace. I'm realising more and more that my vocation is mostly about letting God's love impact me, then work through me in the here and now of daily life, whether as a seminarian now or one day as a priest. Being moved by ordinary people responding in this way has reinforced this for me. People whose attitudes and enthusiasm are testimony to God's mercy and bigness of heart. They inspire me with what's possible. Every encouragement for your path.
Each person's mission is a path of holiness, a path of receiving and living God's grace. I'm still at school, so I'm a long way away from certain big decisions, but that doesn't stop me or others in their teenage years from having a vocation right now. We too are called to let God's friendship and power give us courage and confidence, and to be the difference that makes a difference. Every encouragement for your path.
Each person's mission is a path of holiness, a path of receiving and living God's grace. People who've lost partners through the different sadnesses of separation or death can often feel they no longer have a vocation. I felt that and had to discover again that God wants gifts of grace for each of our situations. With that grace, even some of our pains can be transformed to serve as channels of care and understanding for others. Every encouragement for your path.
Each person's mission is a path of holiness, a path of receiving and living God's grace. I'm a married person, and one of the ways my husband and I are experiencing God's grace is actually through the differences in the way we see certain things. Some of our real growth and self-valuing seems to occur through appreciating other perspectives, an awareness that's also enriching my work with people and families. Every encouragement for your path.